Okay, the next step in creating this logo is adding the type that reads "to the people," wraps around this center point. We'll begin by drawing a circle to serve as a baseline for that type. We'll start from the center and holding down the Shift and Option keys, drag out. And using the Type tool from the toolbar, pull over to Type on a Path and click on that circular stroke and type in "to the." Now we'll use the Rotate tool to bring that around to the top. We use Copperplate for these letters, so we'll find Copperplate in our Type menu. And it's the bold version of Copperplate. And we'll bring the size up to 36, about 38. And we'll letter space that out about 75 points. Now we'll create another circle for the word people. We want the baseline to line up with the height of the letters into the, so we'll bring that out a bit. And again, place our cursor on that stroke and type in people. It's upside down. Of course, we want it right side up, so we'll go to Type, pull down to Type on a Path, over to Type on a Path option, and click the little option that says Flip. Click OK, and that'll flip that type upside down, so now it reads correctly. We'll select both "to the" and "people," and pull down from Type at the top of the screen to Create Outlines. We'll group those, and those are dark blue in the logo, so we'll use the eyedropper tool to select our dark blue bow tie shape. And they have a little gold drop shadow, so Command-C, Command-B will place the version behind. Just use the arrow keys to nudge that down and give it a gold color. And our next step, just want to bump that down a little more, maybe make it a little deeper. Okay, our next step is to create this gold burst shape that sits behind the words "to the people." So we'll move on to a new layer below, and we'll start with a circle drawn from the center. And we want a gradient fill, a radial gradient fill, so we'll pull down from linear to radial. And this gradient starts with a gold color in the center, so we'll add a little magenta and yellow, and pull a color stop over, holding down the Option key. And another one, we can pull that black color stop off at the end. This gradient gets deeper as we move out to the outside edge. And then there's a darker band at the very outside edge. And then we have these rays that sort of burst down from the center, so we'll create a rectangle drawn from the center, very thin. Just to make it a little easier to work with, I'm going to give this a blue color. And then we'll use the Rotate tool, click in the center, and Option drag. Whoops. Option drag to create a duplicate. And then Command-D will let us make another duplicate, and another, and so on. Now we can just select the same fill and unite those rays using Pathfinder. And then we'll rotate them right back around so they're filling the top and the bottom. Try to center those if we can. They're extending beyond that background disk, so we'll make a copy of the disk. Command-C, Command-F. Select our rays and use the Pathfinder tool to, if I can get it, to trim those off. There we go. Now we want to make an adjustment to that fill. Obviously we don't want blue, we want something that's a slightly lighter version of the background glow. So we'll use the eyedropper tool to sample that background glow and check the gradient annotator. We can drag that out so it's filling that shape. And now we'll just make some adjustments to the gradient, and we should be able to create enough of a difference that our new rays will stand out against the background. Sort of like that. Subtle, but I think it will work. The next step is to create this transparent band that sits behind the words "to the people." We'll just draw a circle. And so, holding down the Shift key. And we're actually going to start with a very thick white stroke, 40 points or so. And we'll just add some transparency to that, so we see a little bit of that glow emanating from behind. Should work. And then there are actually two gold rings that sit right behind those letters, which I'll add. The type for "to the" is not quite lining up on that ring, so I'm going to cheat a little bit and just bring the size down a bit. So it's filling that space a little more evenly. Just have to make sure I have everything on that layer. And there we go.